cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. What you do unbelievable. Need that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years blessed, way years is glorious. I was young when they all be ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash. Pulling the gas, I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I can copy. I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Smash, put in the gas. I will not crash. Honey yard dash, honey yard dash, honey yard dash, honey yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need to keep it low. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a turkey. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. Give a lot of trash talk. He talking about making a name. I put on the jets, the coach was ready, but letting them stay in the game. Keep around, took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. Footwork fantastic. Dominate every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. They're gonna blitz. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash. Honey yard dash.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
On the ready.
Watch 57. Three ball.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, here's Hodges. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Ready?
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Go! 15-1.
On third down, Hodges. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. 30, 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now Brown. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jackson now off the bootleg. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now Landry. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Hodges here on 2nd down. It's caught by Garcon. He's at the 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Pierre Garcon, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3.
Let's go, let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. From the 24, Jackson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year. Led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Jackson. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Off the bootleg. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon coming in with some force for the sack that time.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Now, nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
60 outlaw.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. These two teams all tied after 1.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
Let's go, D. Gonna be a long day.
Go.
Looking to throw on second down. Hodges. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Escaping the pressure right. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. On first down, they'll run with Hunt and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready?
To throw on second down, Hodges. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. Second interception. Now here in this first half, and you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Chubb with a first down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, let's get on, go. Let's go. Get set.
A run for Nick Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down.
Tighten up.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Olivier Vernon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Now a play fake here on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. To throw, Mayfield flushed out right. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. With it is Brown. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out right at the 35. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. He was looking for Landry that time. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Tucker's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Give him 6 there, but now it's 3rd.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Jackson now. They go screen. This is Ingram. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I got you, boy. Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno.
A toss play to Chubb. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Big ball. Come, come. That's it.
Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. Well, this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Olivier Vernon giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. A trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Mayfield looks to throw, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a 1st down. Roughing, it is a 1st.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, here's where bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind him. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
From the 16, Jackson. He's got a 1st down past the 30 and all the way up to the 35-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And this one's incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, trying to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Back to throw. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to back him up almost a full 10 yards. It's going to be a loss of 9 officially, and it's 4th down. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They toss it left side to Chubb. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it. Because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to stop.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd down, Jackson forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball in the option, but not there. I mean, you just saw exactly why many old NFL coaches would say, don't use your quarterback in the running game.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Mayfield to throw it. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. and pushes the lead up to an even 20. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
50. Coming to you.
On third down, Mayfield eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it fly, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. But he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop.
Don't be scared.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from it. In this case, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Justin Tucker in for the field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Well, there you go. Just your everyday leading big, and you onside kick it with a lead. They got it. I mean, it worked, but interesting call.
I think because they have such a margin, they feel a little bit bolder about what they're doing. And it's not only just to try and increase their lead, but that's their way of saying we're in full control of this game, and we can kind of do what we want.
And they take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the 45-yard line.
Well.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Ravens, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest. Tupac in the prison, man, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soaking it. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, put the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is in. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems, only got real ones round them. Only got, it take a week to count it.